Peat swamp forests are unique habitats and rich in biodiversity and supporting livelihoods of people. 90% of peatlands in Southeast Asia are, however, converted and drained, mainly due to logging, palm oil, and pulpwood plantations. Few people realize that peatland drainage will cause the land to gradually subside. This can be detected from various features, such as these exposed roots, damaged buildings and infrastructure. Peatland subsidence will finally create a high flood risk. In the extensive tropical lowland landscapes of Indonesia and Malaysia, this can eventually result in the large-scale loss of land and productivity. When natural wet peat soils are drained, the peat layer will slowly subside as a result of water loss, oxidation, and erosion. This process happens in all drained peatlands in the world, but more rapidly under warm tropical circumstances. Research by DeltaRes shows that in the tropics, peat soils may subside by 1.5 meters within 5 years, and up to 5 meters within 100 years. With their base below the mean river or sea level, drained and thus subsiding peatlands increasingly run the risk of becoming flooded, especially during the wet season in the tropics. And this problem becomes worse and worse. The more subsidence, the more flooding, the less productivity. Eventually, the land may become flooded almost permanently and will be lost for agricultural use. The gradual increase of flood risks in extensive peatland areas will, in the medium to long term, inevitably have serious consequences for local people. Industry and the economy at large. Recent surveys have found that subsidence is already leading to problems in parts of Indonesia and Malaysia, as well as in other parts of the world, like here in Sacramento Delta in the US. In the dry seasons or years, drained peat soils can become so dry that they can easily catch fire. This can cause major haze and smog, impacting on important economic sectors such as transport, tourism, and on public health. In Sumatra and Borneo, there are many and clear signs of subsidence in extensive peatland landscapes. DeltaRes has modeled that in the Rajang Delta of Sarawak, subsidence will lead to flooding of most of the area within 50 years. Similarly, subsidence will also lead to large-scale flooding on the east coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, such as here in the Kampar Peninsula in Riau. If land use on peatlands is not changed radically, many other lowland peatland areas will become increasingly subject to flooding. Wetlands International works with DeltaRes to better quantify and map the peatland subsidence problems in Southeast Asia. The issue of peatland subsidence is not well known by policymakers and planners, and hence insufficiently addressed in policy, legislation, land use planning and management. There are plans to further drain peatlands for plantations, including pulpwood plantations for the paper industry. But time is running out. We need to act now to prevent entire landscapes from becoming frequently flooded. Subsidence can only be halted when drainage is stopped and drained peatlands are re-wetted and wisely used. REDD Plus provides options to finance this. REDD Plus provides options to finance this. Examples of wise use include planting crops that can grow on peat without drainage of the soil. This is called paludiculture. There are many local species that have high commercial value, such as ellipnut, which produces vegetable oil that can replace palm oil in many products. Palm oil and pulpwood plantations are valuable industrial sectors, but should phase out in a timely manner from peatlands before they get irreparably damaged and flooded. They should be moved to areas with mineral soils instead. Save tropical peatlands now for people and nature.